cannabis testing labs are required to take 0.35% of a batch. That means that 99.65% of that batch never gets seen by any testing lab. And that 0.35% is randomly selected. Pretty crazy, right?
Right.
So, question to you. What do you think about such a small cross section? Really 10 grams for every, 16 grams for every 10 pounds. What is your thought for that small of a cross section and not being able to apply? But obviously do you want us to take more of your weed as a grower? No. So what's your thought about that cross section we take? It's supposed to represent the whole batch. In a lot of ways it does, but is it too big, too small? What do you think?
I mean, when you guys are testing, it's testing for potency, and then you're testing for contamination or pesticides and heavy metals and things that could have a varying trigger levels of failure, right?
That's right.
But let's just discuss how you grow a plant in a giant room. The canopy is never the even level. You have microclimates across the room, and when you harvest, they don't always sort top to bottom. A lot of it's mostly all going in the same batch. It may not be entirely homogenized, but let's just say it's all evenly spread across all those plants, okay? But even your sampler, are they grabbing the big buds, the little buds? And those potency in the buds will vary, which is supposed to be giving you an accurate average, right?
Yeah, I got you.
I think that's the level of accuracy that we're assuming for potency. But for maybe mold, or heavy metals, where certain plants might have been treated differently and grown in a different part of, say, soil or a different part of the room. Those things maybe is not the best. You're not really going to get the best representation of that crop if it has
so I have
contaminated.
So I have air. Let's just call that a version of hotspot. A hotspot of contamination, right? Where the average level of contamination is higher. So now take this idea of a hotspot. This one thing burned beautifully. I'm good though. I'm good. So take the idea of a hotspot of contamination. What's the likelihood that that hotspot of contamination is caught in a 0.35% selection? Not very high, right?
No.
So let's walk our way through this. How much contamination does there need to be before a lab catches it?